Hello, everyone. Welcome to Monash's new Connections for Change program. This new initiative brings together some of our global alumni elite who will be sharing their tips and advice to help us get through this global pandemic. My name is Rizwan, and it's my great pleasure to bring you Jasmine Suraya Chin. Jasmine is an actress and TV host. Jasmine, thank you for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm so honored to be considered for this prestigious Monash alumni program.
So let's get right into it. The first question we have, I think, from our alumni is how COVID has impacted the Malaysian entertainment industry in general and yourself in particular.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with the general entertainment industry. I think it is hit quite bad because, for example, let's talk about the different stages of employees that are being employed by the industry. Okay, on the filming side, we have the crews. And to be honest, how it works is that they're paid in stages of production filming, like for example before they start shoot and then after 60 days of shoot. So when no one is shooting, and especially I think the filming industry is considered a minor industry by the government that probably doesn't contribute much to the, I don't know, the economy, or and that we are not like, how do you say, our numbers are not big. So in a sense that for us to get funding or for us to get help, or, when we plead that, okay, can we start shooting and that we will adhere to the rules, I think it's somewhat ignored by the government. So, you have a lot of these crews who are unable to find work because even previously, doing production work, they're not, honestly, entertainment industry in Malaysia, you're not paid much. And they find difficulty in finding work elsewhere. So, but it happens across the board. You have like people like event organizers, you have like singers, musicians, artists. It's hard because events, and this is not just during the MCO, especially. I think it will happen. People's mindsets are changing now, and it will have like no events probably for the next 1 year, 1.5 years.
True.
So entertainment industry at large is affected, like revenues. I've had like directors who have resorted to selling food, food delivery, just to get by. And actors, actresses as well going into food delivery. In fact, there is one very famous actor, and he's even offering a barber service now, where he goes house to house.
Wow, he goes house to house, okay.
Yes. So I think for people to get into that sort of stage, where, as an artist, for them, like to be exposed this much, to the public, is meaning that I think they're at a stage whereby they don't have enough money. So it is a reminder to everyone actually to save for rainy days, especially something like this. And it's just a pity that we are not considered essential.
And how have you been adapting to the situation?
I think for me, okay, so I'm a little bit of a different case because as we reach the age of technology, okay, when I started out, I'm just going to go a little bit back to how I started out. It was about like 5, 6, 7 years ago when social media was not as strong. And back then TV monopolized the whole industry, but now televisions are struggling. In fact, actually, during this MCO television, I think they're suffering with cash flow. They're playing back a lot of the old contents, and then moving forward, I don't think they are going to be buying dramas. I think it's more like they're going to go on a profit sharing with production houses. So that sort of indicates that like television is struggling because social media, YouTube and everything, advertisers are coming in to advertise on more targeted areas, rather than paying a lot for a TV ad on TVs. And for me, at the time, so I came at a time when I was in the midst of TV and in the midst of a slowly increasing, I don't know,
popularity of social media, is it?
yeah, social media. So there is this term in the entertainment industry whereby are you indie or are you mainstream, you know? So indie is people like, oh, you know, I do my art or whatever. And then you have the people like mainstream who are more towards the mass market, who are more commercialized. So I find myself in between the two. And for me, I thought I would be hit quite bad, but turns out because my social media game is quite, not to say weak, but also not to say very strong, but I am able, and especially now, advertisers are going towards social media, right? So I find that a large part of my revenue, even for the past 2 years, have been through social media. And especially when, you know, like Blue Ink recently closed. Blue Ink, the publishing house that owns like I think 16 magazine titles.
Right.
Now, high-end products or even products, they need to find a new avenue for advertising. So they come straight to us, you see, where we advertise their product. So
you act kind of like ambassadors for them. You promote their products.
Yes, we endorse it. We endorse the product. We provide the avenue, the platform where the eyeballs are on our page, and then, you know, like nowadays, right? Companies, they engage. I hate to use this word, influencers, but I guess I'm part actress, and then because of my following, they sort of see me as this person who can endorse their product on my page, where I have like eyeballs, you know, audiences. So and nowadays they don't come out with the production, we come out with the production. So it's like a one go, you know, service for them. Like I get like, you know, like a fraction of your audience who is viewing it, and then I pay you a certain amount, and it's so much cheaper than going through billboards and going through TV stations, because they are able to gauge how many clicks, how many people are viewing it.
Yeah. So I guess that's a good segue into my next question. What has been your biggest learning during this pandemic situation?
To be honest, you know, like prior to the MCO, I have been quite busy. Every single day, you know, I was shooting 2 projects, and then I was supposed to travel to the States and to Budapest, and I was starting on another project. So, and I must say that I have been I am quite an introvert, in a sense that I need a lot of alone time. So when I found out that, you know, we would have this restriction, and then we would have to stay at home, I was dancing. I was literally dancing. I was so happy to be able to stay at home. But I think after a month in, to be honest, I wasn't very productive at all. I'm not productive at all. I think because this is a very rare time for me to relax. And so it's a lot of a reflection of discovering what I'm good at, what my strengths are, and what my weaknesses are. You know, there are a couple of things that I wanted to do, but I just found myself not being able to do it. And then it just dawned on me, like, what is my strength and what is my weaknesses? And so I started keeping a journal, actually, of like daily thoughts, you know. And then, so I think that is my biggest learning point. I mean, for me, particularly personally, is that what are my strengths, and then what I want to get into, you know, what is it that would make me happy? Because I found that in the past I had to do a lot of things that made me very unhappy in order to achieve my goals. And then moving forward, I think I want to like try to strike that balance and negotiate with certain things that would you know, yin and yang and stuff like that. Yeah, and I just realized one thing, like there was an experiment that I did, and where I note down minute to minute what I do every day, because I found that time just passes by really fast. And I went on airplane mode for 3 days, and I felt that like I could achieve a lot more stuff. I think 70%. I think my productivity just went up by 70%. And probably there is actually an opportunity in crisis. I just realized, You know, there are a lot of things that can be done that can make extra money during this crisis. You just have to really, really know where to look into.
So my final question, Jasmine, what advice would you give to Monash alumni pursuing a similar career?
Entertainment industry. Okay, I think first step is you have to be very honest with yourself. What do you want? Do you want fame? Do you want to just do what you love? Because there's a big difference. Yeah, we always say, oh, you know, I want to be a singer, or I want to be, I want to be in a stage. You know, that's their dream. A dream is often an image in our mind, but are we willing to go through the process to achieve that? So I think the first step is being very honest with ourselves. And second step is to treat it like a business and not a passion, because passion dies out, and passion is not something that will sustain you and it will not pay your bills, not in the initial stage of your career. So you have to treat it like a business, and you have to understand that in any industry that you do, 50% or even 60% of the times you have to do things that you don't like, you hate. You know, you have to meet people you don't like, deal with them that you don't like. That is something that you have to understand. But know that, you know, that even if you have to do the things that you don't like, imagine even if you switch course of your career, there will still be a lot of things that you don't like to do, but at least in this career, you're able to get the goal that you want. And then third thing is that, you know, especially I think maybe let me talk about people like in front of the camera. There are a lot of up and coming new young people, you know, prettier, I don't know, more talented or whatever. But I think the one thing that people cannot take away from you is your skills, your talent, and that will ride you, you know, for the long term. So always invest in, you know, your skills and your talent.
Invest in yourself.
Yes, you must. You know, you must have something that, you know, it's like when we talk about business, what's your competitive advantage? What's your niche? So that is it. It's the same as us, you know. It's not so glamour. I mean, yeah, it is very, you know, there's a lot of perks that you can get, but you really have to treat it like a business. Yeah, that's
Awesome.
what. When you see it from that perspective, you would know how to strategize, I think.
Yeah, so time for me to go get some headshots.
Yeah.
That was very inspiring. Thank you, Jasmine, for the thoughts. By the way, I forgot to mention that I loved Pascal.
Oh, thank you.
I loved you in Pascal. I think that was one of my favorite Malaysian movies of all time.
Oh, yeah, because there's a lot of action.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So, Jasmine, that's all the time we have for now. Thank you again for your time.
Oh, no worries. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and please stay safe, and I hope to re-engage with you again in the future.
Yes. Send my regards to everyone at Monash.